Hello, Cougar Nation, and welcome to the CUC softball field for another softball matchup. Concordia Chicago Cougars taking on the visiting Marian University Sabres, and the Cougars coming off of a week-long break. They haven't played since last Sunday. But that doesn't change the fact that the Cougs are hot. Concordia Chicago winning 5 of their last games. They are 6-2 in conference already this year, 13-9 overall, and they have been playing some incredible softball as of late. One of their highest scoring games in team history, a 23-2 win over Alverno College this past Sunday, and that's the game that this team is coming off of. The bats are hitting very well. The pitchers on the mound are pitching very well. And Marian's going to have a tall task ahead of them. The Sabres, 2-2 in conference so far. Swept Dominican to kick off their season, and then were swept by Rockford University. And they're coming off of but they have lost their last 2 in general, coming off of a non-con doubleheader against UW Oshkosh, the nationally ranked UW Oshkosh, losing 4-1 and 8-0. In those 2 games this past Tuesday. They're looking to get back on the right side of the win column and get above 500 in conference today in River Forest. Cougars looking to stay hot and keep that win streak streaking as Marian comes up to the plate first. Leading off for the Sabres is Riley Mankowski, batting second. Aaron Cow batting third. Ari Schlepp batting fourth. Kendall Pleiner batting fifth. Savannah Knuth batting sixth. Max Christofferson batting 7th, Sabrina DeVito batting 8th, Carissa Heistorf, and batting 9th, Hope Matta. As Ash Stroll is out on the mound for the Cougars to kick things off, and she fires that first pitch in the outside inside corner for a ball. And Stroll coming in today, one of these Cougar aces. 10 appearances, a 3.19 ERA, as she fires that in for a strike. Through 37 and a third innings pitch, Schroll's given up 17 earned runs, struck out 15. As that's chopped over to second, Garcia gets it to Lorenas for out number 1. And with 1 out, Aaron Coe coming up to the plate for the Sabres. Coe on the season, coming into the day with a .275 batting average. No extra base hits on the season for Coe. 51 at-bats, 14 hits through those as she takes that first pitch fired in from Schroll for a strike. A 1 pitch is fouled off, and you see Coe's hitting motion. Coe on the season, very low slugging percentage, high on base percentage, 393 OBP, higher than any other player on this Sabres lineup. You get on base, infield singles, bunts, and this is something you see with those speedsters in a softball game. You'll start running before you're even making contact with the ball, moving up in the box, trying to get that extra advantage just to push the ball out into the field as Coe takes that for a 1-2 count. Schroll sets, Coe readies, winds, fires, and Coe grounds out over to short. Santos bobbles it and can't pick it up. That's going to be an error scored on Santos. Coe, another trip on base, this time through an error. And with 1 out, Marian has their first runner of the day. Ari Schlepp up to the plate now for Marian. Schlepp, she's the premier hitter of this Sabres roster. A .340 batting average coming into today and a .420 slugging percentage. She hits well, and she can hit it far. .1-0 pitch, and that's lined into right field for a base hit. Tierney can't field it cleanly off rip, able to get it in and still hold Coe at second. That's the first base hit of the day for the Sabres. And Marian has runners on first and second with still just 1 out. Coming up to the plate now for Marian, Kendall Pliner, and Pliner, another part of the heart of the order for this team, and she pops that over to left field. Coming over is Morris, and she makes a catch and tosses it in. First action in a game Morris has seen since she won her first career NAC Player of the Week award this past week. Morris, a pair of home runs this past weekend in that set of doubleheaders on Saturday and Sunday. She has been lighting it up at the plate for the Cougars. Makes her first play on the field there, and that's 2 outs for Marian. So the runner on first and second. Here is Savannah Newth. Takes that pitch, strike one on Knuth. Troll winds, fires, swing and a miss for strike two. Way behind it is Knuth. She finds herself in an 0-2 hole, trying to avoid stranding a pair of runners on bases. Troll fires, swing and a miss, strike three. Knuth can't resist. And Ash Stroll, her first strikeout of the day. She gets out of the inning. Marian strands 2 on base. And that'll bring the Cougars up to bat right after this break. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. We're to the bottom of the first here in River Forest, and the Cougars coming up to the plate for the first time today. Leading off for Concordia, it's Emily Garcia. Caitlin Smith on deck. Jess Gang in the hole to start the game. And Sabrina DeVito fires that first pitch in for a strike. DeVito, she is the long-distance arm for this Marian squad. 37 2/3 inning pitch through 10 appearances, 8 games started. She has a 4-4 record, but she does have a 3.16 ERA, 17 earned runs allowed. She's walked 18. She's struck out 29, and she already has a 0-2 advantage on Garcia. DeVito has been dicing up hitters at the plate this season, trying to do the same to get her day started in River Forest. 0-2 pitch. That's high for ball one. 1-2 count on Garcia. DeVito steps, winds, fires, and that's fouled off to stay alive. The backstop filling out the second half of this battery is Ari Schleep for the Sabres. DeVito fires. That's high. Ball two. Good hold on the check swing from Garcia. And she's worked her way back to an even count. DeVito gets the call in from the dugout, winds, fires, and that's grounded foul down the third baseline. Garcia fighting to stay alive to start off the game for the Cougars, and that's what they want. You get a pitcher who's used to getting players out. You force a long fighting at bat to start the day. And that pitcher is going to have to go through a lot of her arsenal before she even gets batter number 2. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up on Garcia. And that's popped towards right center. Coming on is Coe to make the play. And it's a 7 pitch to a flyout for DeVito. So a long at-bat brings up 1 out. And with that 1 out, up to the plate is Caitlin Smith for the Cougs. Smith coming into the day for the Cougars, batting .283 on the year. She does get on base, .421 on base percentage, as she takes that pitch fired in for a strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Make it 1-1, that's high. One count on Smith. DeVito fires, and that's fouled down the first baseline, and it gets down. That'll be strike 2 on Smith. One-two count. DeVito trying to still get through this inning, going 1-2-3. Here's the 1-2, and that's popped foul again. This time that's into the back alley. Stays a 1-2 count on Smith. Cougars doing a good job of fouling balls off to start the day. Not a lot of wind in River Forest today. That pitch is on the way, fouled off again. 3 straight foul balls for Smith. And what is not a windy day in River Forest, but is a beautiful day in River Forest. It's bright, it's sunny, 56 degrees out, and a great day for some softball. As DeVito with a 1-2 count winds, fires outside for ball 2. Nice hold from Smith after fouling off 3 straight pitches, and that's that pitcher's strategy you force. After 3 straight foul balls, that pitcher, you're going to fire outside, see if that player is swinging at anything. Smith swings at that, grounded over to short, Heisdorf over to first for out number 2.
Now batting for the Cougars, the catcher, number 12, Jess Gang.
The Cougars grinding some long at-bats yet to get anything out of it. And now Jess Gang will step up to the plate for Concordia Chicago. And this is that heart of the order for the Cougars. Gang has been on top of it for this team this year. .417 batting average coming into the day, slugging at .653. 11 doubles and 3 triples for Gang coming into the day. An extra base machine. And she gets on base pretty well, too. .451 OBP. As she takes that 1-0 pitch outside to make it 2-0. .2-0 count on Gang. DeVito fires. That's high. Ball 3 on Gang. DeVito can't find the zone, just off the edge again. And it's very much a hitter's count. DeVito winds, fires, and that's just rifled in for strike 1. Takes the 3-0 pitch for a strike. Cougars trying to get their first base runner of the day in the bottom of the first. They got 2 outs, no men on for Gang. Pitch on the way, and that's low for ball 4. Gang draws the walk, and the Cougars have a runner on first with 2 outs for Maya Lorenas. And Lorenas had a hot start to the year, and to say she's cooled off makes it sound a lot worse than it is. Lorenas still batting .386 coming into the day for the Cougars, still a strong part of the heart of the order. She makes contact, and she gets on base. .444 OBP as she takes that first pitch for a strike. On the 0-1 pitch, that's fouled off for 0-2. So Lorenas quickly into a hole in her first at-bat of the day. Runner on first, 2 outs. DeVito steps up, winds, fires, off the plate. Ball 1. Lorenas holds, wasn't close, and you don't really see it close very often on an 0-2 count. Here's the 1-2. And that's popped up and knocked down, and that'll get down, gang, all the way to third. Off the dirt, then off the face of Knuth at second. And it's a base hit for Maya Lorenas. It runs the runner to the third, and the Cougars now have runners at the corners. With 2 outs, runner at first and a runner at third. That brings up Mikyler Morris to the plate, the reigning NAC Player of the Week. And Morris coming off of an incredible weekend. Her last time out. As she puts that into left field for a ribby, Mikyler Morris ambushes DeVito on the first pitch, and the Cougars take an early 1-0 lead, a 2-out manufacture. And Mikyler Morris comes through for Concordia. Runners at first and second now for Santos, batting with a 1-run lead now for the CUC. DeVito winds, fires, and Santos takes that for a strike. DeVito, she's been able to find the zone, but the Cougars, they've been able to grind out at bats long enough or ambush early enough, and DeVito just hasn't been able to get the job done as quickly as she wants to, as that 0-1 pitch is off the plate for ball 1. 1-1 on Santos. That's off the outside edge again to make it 2-1. And DeVito, her strength on the mound was her ability to strike out batters, get them out at the plate, and she hasn't been able to do that yet through the first 6 batters as she delivers a 2-1. That's grounded over to short. And Heisdorf able to get it over to Christofferson for out number 3. Cougars strand a pair on at first and second, but they score 1. Concordia out in front after the first. It's 1-0 CUC as we head to the top of the second. Marian coming up to the plate. Welcome back to River Forest. Top of the second, Cougars lead 1-0 after a 1-out RBI, 2-out RBI single for Mikyler Morris in the bottom of the first. Marian looking to respond in the top of the second with Mac Christofferson leading things off for Marian. And Christofferson takes first pitch from Schroll high for ball 1. Christofferson on the year batting .244. She started 15 games. And she takes that pitch, fired in for a strike. And third base coach for Marian calling for a timeout to go talk with Christofferson. And the Cougars will take advantage of that to try and keep their infield fired up. We get back to work now in River Forest. Tony Draves gave Christofferson a little bit of advice in a 1-1 count. And that 1-1 pitch is high for ball 2. Two one on Christofferson. Pitch on the way. Hard foul ball down the first baseline to make it 2-2. Two count. Schroll winds, fires. Swing and a miss! Strike 3. She K's her up. And that's out number 1. Christofferson can't hold back on the outside breaking ball. And with 1 out, that brings up Sabrina DeVito to the plate, the starting pitcher for the Sabres, getting a look in the box. DeVito takes that first pitch for ball 1. DeVito on the year at the plate. Only 19 at-bats. She's hitting .211, getting on base at .250 percentage. She has 1 walk. She's struck out 6 times. As she grounds that over to second, fielded by Garcia right over to Lorenas for out number 2. And after a quick 2 outs, that brings Carissa Heisdorf up to the plate for Marian. Heisdorf also having some struggles at the plate this year. One 0 count on Heisdorf. Make it 2-0. 2 outs, nobody on for the shortstop. And now she shoves bunt. That's fouled straight back. 2-1 now for Heisdorf. Marian just trying to get a runner on base before the inning ends. You see how effective that 2-out run manufacturing can be. Cougars pulling it off in the bottom of the first. 3-1 count on Heisdorf. Three-one pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. And we are filled up in the top of the second. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Carissa Heisdorf trying to survive and keep the inning going. Schroll trying to make it a 1-2-3. Winds, fires. Swing and a miss! Strike 3! 2 Ks on the inning for Ash Schroll, who is dealing from the rubber. And we head to the bottom of the second. Marian can't respond. Cougars hold a 1-0 lead. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Alyssa Campos leading off the inning for Concordia Chicago. Cougars went through 6 in the bottom of the second, drove in 1. Now Campos will look to keep the Cougars cooking at the plate as she leads off the bottom of the second. And DeVito fires that in, back out for another inning of work. That foul ball is strike 1. Two 1-0-1 pitch on the way, low. 1-1 for Campos. 1 ball, 1 strike for number 1. Off the outside, 2-1 count. DeVito struggled to get through at-bats quickly in the bottom of the first. That's foul back for Campos. Full, evened up now, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes on Campos. And she grounds out over to second. Easy shovel for Knuth. And that's out number 1 in the bottom of the second.
Now batting for the Cougars, the pitcher, number 26, Ash Schroll.
And with 1 out, Ash Schroll steps up to the plate for Concordia. Schroll on the year hitting .268. And she swings and fouls off her first pitch.
Yes, Callie will be ready. It'll be Callie in the backside.
0-1 count on Schroll. And she grounds that up the middle, fielded by Heisdorf, over to first, out. Number 2, DeVito, producing a lot of ground outs early on in this game. Now Callie Tierney coming up to the plate for the Cougars, the 9-hitter. Swings and misses at a high fastball for strike 1. Tierney on the year, 23 at-bats, hitting .478 in that small sample size. As she takes that pitch off the plate for ball 1.
Number 2 is turning.
1-1. Foul back, make it 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs for Callie Tierney. No runners on. Pitch on the way. Off the outside edge. Ball 2, it's evened up. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for batter number 2. Ball 3, and it's full. 3-2 count for Tierney. Tierney on the year. She's struck out 6 times. She's walked 3 times. And she strikes out. Catches the outside bottom corner for strike 3. First strikeout of the day for Sabrina DeVito. And we head to the top of the third. It stays at 1-0 Concordia. Marian coming up to bat right after this break. That's on me. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. It's the top of the third in River Forest. Cougars leading 1-0. Marian coming back up to the plate. It's Hope Matta leading off for the Sabres. First pitch to Matta. Shows bunt, takes it high for ball one. Matta, another on-base batter for this Marian squad. And she takes that pitch for strike one. And being an on-base batter doesn't mean you excel at getting on base. Hope Matta, she has 35 at-bats on the year. She's played in 16 games, only a .297 on-base percentage. Takes that low for ball two. 2-1 count on Matta. Troll winds, fires, and that's popped foul down the third baseline. Makes it a 2-2 count. And that's something that you can kind of run into. If you get a pitch like that you're able to, get the right level on, barrel up, you time it right, except because you're already running out of the box, you need to swing earlier. If Matta's back on that one, you have that second to swing. Maybe that's straightened out, but it's kind of that trade-off you make. You get out the box earlier, but you shorten the distance from your bat to the ball, and it's a bit easier to foul it off if you're behind the pitch. 3-2 count on Matta. Schroll fires. And that's into left field and caught. Lindley Southern slides down. Out number one. Lindley Southern shows off some defensive prowess in the outfield. And with one out, Riley Mankowski will come up to the plate for the second time today. Mankowski takes that first pitch in for ball one. One 1-0 count on Mankowski. Make it 1-1. Schroll pumps that in. One pitch on the way. Schroll fires, and she fires in for ball two. Two 1 count on Mankowski. Make it 3-1. That's high. 3 balls. And Mankowski in a favorable count. Schroll winds, fires, and that's fouled off. Make it full. 3-2 count on Mankowski. And that's grounded to short. Fielded by Santos, over to first, in time for out number 2. Quick play on the infield for the Cougars. It needed to be quick. Mankowski nearly able to beat it out. But now with 2 outs and no runners on, Aaron Coe will come up to the plate for the second time today. Coe reached base on an error her last time at the plate, and she takes that pitch in for a strike. A 1 pitch on the way, and that's high for ball one. One count on Coe. Make it 1-2. That's foul back. 1-2 pitch. Off the edge of the plate for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for number 1. No runners on for Co. Pitch on the way. And that's fouled off above the visiting dugout, so she'll stay alive. Schroll trying to work another 1-2-3 inning. And we're filled up. It's the 3-2 count on Co. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lined and caught. Campos right on it. Straight to third base. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Alyssa Campos wastes no time with that one. Cougars show off some flashy defense in the top of the third, and they hold a 1-run lead as we head to the bottom of the third. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars, they've worked their way back to the top of the order. They hold a 1-run lead. Emily Garcia coming back up to the plate for CUC. DeVito worked a 1-2-3 inning for the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Her last inning picked up her first strikeout on Callie Tierney. As Garcia, that's grounded over to Heisdorf and can't get picked out of the air by Christofferson. That shortstop to first, the 6-3 grounder, has been productive and consistent for the Sabres today, but it falters with that one. Garcia reaches on error, and the Cougars have the leadoff man on. Runner at first, no outs for Caitlin Smith. And Smith shows bunt, bunts it foul.
Spotted at the Bean in downtown Chicago. Is that straight?
0-1 count on Smith. Fouled straight back towards the box for strike 2. 0-2 count on Smith. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 3 pitches and a strikeout for DeVito. Makes quick work of Caitlin Smith, and that's how you respond after an error. So now 1 out and a runner on for Jess Gang. And Gang scored the only run of the day back in the bottom of the first. Got on base with a walk. And she'll take that first pitch low for ball 1. One 1-0 count, runner at first. Pitch on the way. And that's lifted foul down the right field line and off the fence. 1-1 count on Gang. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 runner over at first. Swing and a miss, strike 2. One-two pitch on the way. DeVito fires. And that's lifted foul down the left field line. Off the fence. Cerullo can't make the play. And Gang stays alive. One-two count on Gang. DeVito waiting for the call, gets the call. 1-2 pitch, fires, pop foul. And that is a car hit, our first hit of the day, off the roof of a Chevy Colorado. Stays a 1-2 count on Jess Gang. And Gang lifts that to right field. Coe settling under it, makes the play for out 2.
Now batting for the Cougars, the first baseman, number 30.
And so 2 outs, still a runner at first for the Cougars. As Maya Lorenas comes back up to the plate. Lorenas, ground ball single in the infield, her last time up at the plate. She takes that first pitch high for ball 1. One-oh count on Lorenas. And that's fouled off the fence to make it 1-1. One pitch on the way. Off the edge of the plate, Garcia easily into second for a stolen base. So it's a 2-1 count now on Lorenas. She has a runner in scoring position. First stolen base of the day for either team. The infield not ready for it. 2-1 pitch. Foul down the first baseline. 2-2 count. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second. 2 hits on the day for the Cougars. A lot of 2s out there right now. 22 on the mound. DeVito steps, winds, fires. Fouled back. Lorena stays alive. The Cougars have been working some long at-bats out of Sabrina DeVito today. Stays at a 2-2 count. DeVito will fire again. Off the edge, 3-2. We're filled up. In the bottom of the third, 2 outs and a full count on Maya Lorenas. Runner at second, trying to do something with it. 3-2 pitch on the way. In the dirt, ball 4. And the Cougars have 2 runners on, and guess who? Mikyler Morris coming back up to the plate for the Cougs. Morris 1 for 1 on the day, an RBI single in the first. DeVito fires. And that catches the zone, strike 1. Oh, 1 count on Morris. And she powers that one foul into right field. That's into Division Street. Stops over by Priori Park. So it's an 0-2 count for Morris. DeVito winds, fires. And Morris lifts that to center field. Mata settles under it at the warning track for out number 3. Cougar Strand runners on first and second. It stays at a 1-0 lead for Concordia. Yet at the top of the 4th, Marian and Ari Schleep coming up right after this break. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Ari Schleep leading off the inning for Marian. The Sabres still only 1 hit on the day back in the first inning. Nice trail 1-0. As that pitch goes high for ball 1. Make it a 2-0 count on Schleep. Schleep on the year has drawn 5 walks, getting on base at a .386 percentage. And she pops that to second base. Garcia is there, and that's out number 1. Quick out to kick off the inning, and with 1 out, that'll bring up Kendall Pliner. Pliner flew out to left center her first time at the plate today. And she takes pitch 1 high for ball 1. 1-0 pitch. That's popped up in the infield. Schroll under it, barely has to move off the rubber for it. That's a quick out number 2. Pliner gets way under it. So now Savannah Knuth up to the plate with 2 outs and no runners on. Schroll fires off the outside edge for ball 1. 1-0 count on Knuth. Pitch on the way, high for ball 2. Schroll steps back up, 2-0 pitch. 3-0. So now Schroll way behind the count. Knuth likely going to sit on this pitch. And she does, and Schroll pumps it on the inside edge for a strike. The 3-1 pitch. That's high for ball 4. First walk of the day drawn by Marian. That puts a runner on with 2 outs. Cougars going to take their first mound visit of the day. Jess Gang headed to the mound to talk to Ash Schroll. So coming up is Mac Christofferson for Marian. Christofferson 0 for 1 on the day, struck out swinging her first time up at the plate. Oh, Christofferson 0 for 1 on the day, steps up to the plate, runner at first. No outs. 2 outs as that pitch goes low for a ball. Knuth over at first. Taking a cue from the Cougar Invitational out on the track today in a full starter's position. As that's fouled off for strike 1. Knuth's over at first using the base as a starting block. 1-1 pitch on the way. And that's fouled off, strike 2. One-two count on the way. Pitch fired. Off the outside edge, ball 2. Christofferson able to hold on to that one. Troll stepping back up. She'll wind and fire again. High, ball 3, full count on Christofferson. Three-two pitch. Grounded over to third, fielded by Campos. Over to first to end the inning. Marian strands a runner at first. We head to the bottom of the 4th. We're halfway through the game. The Cougars still hold a 1-0 lead. It's 1-0 Concordia as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Concordia 1-0 lead as we get the bottom of the 4th going. Arissa Santos leading off the inning for the Cougs. Santos grounded out to short her last time up at the plate as she takes that pitch high and out for ball 1. DeVito back out on the mound for another inning of work for the Sabres. 1-0 pitch on the way. Shows bunt, a beautiful bunt over to third, and she beats out the throw. Arissa Santos shows off the wheels, and the Cougars have the leadoff man on with a bunt single.
Now batting for the Cougars, the third baseman, number 1, Alyssa
Mankowski nearly able to make the play. Santos just beating out the throw. Now Alyssa Campos up to the plate for the Cougars with a runner on first and no outs. Campos comes out swinging, fouls that off the netting. Campos grounded out to second her last time at the plate. 0-1 count. Off the edge of the plate for ball one. DeVito at 65 pitches thrown today. And that's another bunt, this time to first. Turns, fires to first for out one. But it advances the runner to second. Cougars going to try and manufacture a run in the bottom of the fourth.
Now batting for the Cougars, the pitcher, number 26, Ash Schroll.
Ashley Schroll stepping up to the plate now for the Cougs. 1-0 count on Schroll. Pitch on the way. And that's grounded over to second, fielded over to first on the shovel for out number one. But that advances the runner to third. So with 2 outs, the Cougars have a runner at third for Callie Tierney. Tierney struck out looking on a full count her last time up at the plate. Looking to get a hit this time. And she takes that on the outside edge for strike one. A 1 pitch, fouled back, 0-2. So Tierney in a hole. O2 pitch on the way. Off the outside edge, ball one. Good hold from Tierney. A 1-2 pitch, fires, and fouls it off. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at third. Cougars trying to extend their lead. Fouled back. Tierney fighting at the plate. She has it in a 1-2 count now. DeVito gets the call. Now she'll fire the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Gets Tierney again. The Cougars get a man on to start off the inning, and they strand her at third. Marian holds the Cougars lead at 1. We head to the top of the 5th. The Sabres still trying to get something going on offense. We'll have that on the Cougar Sports Network in just a moment. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. It's the top of the 5th here in River Forest. Concordia with a 1-0 lead. Ash Schroll back out on the mound for the Cougars is Sabrina DeVito steps up to the plate to lead off the inning for Marian. And DeVito grounds out over to first, and Lorenas can't field it cleanly. Started moving before she had it in the glove. That's an error on the first baseman, and Marian has the leadoff man on.
Now batting for the Sabres, the shortstop, number 15, Carissa Highsdorf. That would be an error.
Runner on first, no outs for Heisdorf. Schroll fires, and that's a pop bunt off the netting for strike one.
It's just all the running stuff. She did all the throwing stuff yesterday.
But we also have long jump and triple jump.
0-1 count on Heisdorf. And that's another bunt over to first. This time they get the out. Lorenas fires Garcia, but it does advance the runners. Marian trying to replicate what the Cougars did, and they do with that one. So 1 out and a runner at second now.
For the Sabres, the center fielder, number 10, Hope Mata.
Hope Mata up to the plate for the second time today, and she shows bunt, and it's foul. A 1 count now. Marian desperate to just push something across the plate in the top of the fifth. The bats haven't been able to get going outside of it. They had a hit in the top of the first. Every other time they reached base has been a walk and then 2 errors. As Schroll fires. In the zone, strike 2. And now Mata really doesn't have that choice to bunt. Can't risk fouling off the bunt to strike out. 0-2 pitch on the way. Swinging foul. Oh, 2 count on Mata. Schroll fires. That's grounded over to third. Fielded by Campos quickly over to first. Cougars can't get it back over to third to hold DeVito. So it's another grounder that advances the runner. And if you're getting deja vu, you should be. Marian, exact same sequence of events outside of a couple small differences the Cougars had their last inning. So they have a runner on third, 2 outs for Riley Mankowski. Mankowski paired ground outs on the day as she takes that first pitch in for a ball. Sabres trying to capitalize on a Cougars mistake to produce a run. And that's lifted into right field. Foul. 1-1 count on Mankowski. Mankowski just needs to get any kind of a hit to score a run. One count. Pitch on the way. And it's high, ball 2. Two-one pitch on the way. Straight back to Schroll for out number 3. Nice and easy at the rubber. And the Cougars get out of a jam. The error costs them nothing. And we head to the bottom of the 5th. Cougars holding that 1-0 lead for dear life. All right, welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. It's the bottom of the 5th. Emily Garcia leading off the inning for the Cougars. Garcia's led off an inning 3 times today. She led off the game, led off the 3rd, now leading off the 5th. As she takes pitch 1 high for a ball. Sabrina DeVito out for another inning of work. She fires that in the zone for strike 1. 1-1 count now on Garcia. There's a 1-1 pitch outside for ball 2. Garcia reached base on an error at first base for last time up. Cougars couldn't do anything with it. It's now a 2-1 count. DeVito winds, fires. That's low and in, ball 3. Both of these teams' offenses have been fairly cold. They have been cold since the first inning. Cougars at least have a hit. Here's the 3-1. That's grounded over to short. Heisdorf over to first for out number 1. Cougars been putting the ball in play a lot today. Just haven't been able to get it past the infield. And we have our first pinch hitter of the day. Melissa Hajik stepping up to the plate in place of Caitlin Smith. Cougars trying to switch around that offense, get something going out there. Hajik on the year hitting .313, slugging .417, getting on base at a rate of 400. DeVito checks over to third, now fires. And that's high for ball 1. The 1-0 count, pitch on the way. That's in, strike 1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Off the plate, ball 2. Two-one count. DeVito checks over to the dugout. Now she'll fire. Swing and a miss from Hajik. That pitch inside. Got her going. Now 2-2 count. 1 out, no runners on. Pitch on the way. That's grounded over to third, fielded by Mankowski. Over to first for out number 2.
Now batting for the Cougar is the catcher, number 12, Jess Gang.
Jess Gang now coming up to the plate for the Cougs. Gang flew out to right her last time up at the plate. Gang, the only runner to score today. Walked in the first. Cougars worked her around. And she takes that on the bottom of the zone for a strike. Oh, 1 count. Pitch on the way. And that's a base hit into center field. Splits the infield. And the Cougars get another runner on with 2 outs. Jess Gang keeps the inning going.
First baseman, number 30, Maya Lorenas.
And with a runner on first and 2 outs, Maya Lorenas will step up to the plate. Lorenas has reached base twice today, 1 for 1 with a single. Took a walker last at bat. DeVito winds, fires. That's high for ball one. 1-0 count. DeVito winds, fires. And that's grounded over to third. Mankowski over to first for out number 3. Trio of grandouts gets DeVito out of the inning. Cougars strand a runner at first. We head to the top of the 6th. It's still 1-run game, 1-0 Cougars. When we come back right after this. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Aaron Coe leading off for the Marian Sabres in the top of the 6th. Coe 0 for 2 on the day, reached base on an error in the first. And she fouls that down the third baseline to make it an 0-1 count. Oh, 1 on Coe. Schroll fires. That's on the zone. Strike 2. Oh, 2 pitch on the way now. That's grounded to short, fielded by Santos. Over to first for out number 1. And we're now going to have a Ari Schleet coming up to the plate now for the Sabres. One for 2 on the day, flew out to second her last time up, and she calls time. And now she'll fly that to right field. Coming onto it is Tierney to make the play. And that's a quick 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Kendall Pliner now coming back up to the plate. Pliner flew out to left and popped out to the pitcher's mound today. Schroll fires. That's outside for ball 1. Ash Schroll has been dealing on the mound for the Cougars. And Pliner over to third, picked by Campos, over to first for out number 3. Again, the Cougars defense flashes. And it's a quick 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 6th. We head to the bottom of the inning. Cougars coming back up to the plate. They've still got a 1-0 lead, and Marian is desperate now. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Kyler Morris leading off the inning for the Cougars. Morris flew out to deep center her last time up at the plate. And she shows bunt, takes that first pitch for a strike. A 1 count on Morris. DeVito back out for another inning of work. And Morris flies that into right field. Coes there to make the play. That's a quick out, number 1 in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting for the Cougars, the shortstop, number 15, Arissa Santos.
Arissa Santos now coming up to the plate for Concordia. And she fouls that off to Division. 0-1 count for Santos. Reached base on a bunt single her last time at the plate. +10. 0-1 pitch. In there. Strike 2. Santos down in a hole quickly. And here's the 0-2 pitch. High, ball 1. One-two pitch now. Make it 2-2. Santos evens it back up. No runners on, 1 out. Pitch on the way, and that's popped up towards center. Mata settles under it to make the play. Back-to-back flyouts to outfield for the Cougs. And with 2 outs, that'll bring Alyssa Campos up to the plate for Concordia.
The third baseman, number 1, Alyssa Campos.
Campos takes that first pitch in the zone for a strike. A 0-1 count on Campos. DeVito winds, fires outside. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Fouled off again. One-two pitch on the way. That's low, ball 2. Campos trying to keep the inning alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Waiting on the pitch from 22. And that's the inning. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. And that takes care of Campos. We head to the top of the 7th. Schroll trying to get through 3 last outs. And pull off a 1-0 win for the Cougars. Concordia leads 1-0 as we head to the top of the 7th right after this break. Savannah Knuth leading off the top of the 7th for the Sabres. Marian down to their last 3 outs. Schroll fires that under the zone for ball 1. 1-0 pitch on the way. Make it 2-0. That's high. Schroll has been dealing for the Cougs all day, just trying to get 3 more outs. That's fired in. 2-1 count. And that's fouled off to Division. 2-2 count on Knuth. Two pitch. Off the edge. Full count on Knuth. Three-two pitch on the way, fouled off. Runs in on Knuth, but she stays alive with the 3-2 count. Three-two pitch. That's flown to right center. Tierney's there for out number 1. 2 to go for Schroll. And we now have a pinch hitter coming up to the plate for Marian in place of Mac Christopherson. Karina Wood, the senior out of Green Bay, going to step up to the plate for her 6th at-bat of the season. It's not Karina Wood. Marian bluffing. We're getting Abigail Schreiber.
Now batting for the Sabres, number 11, Abby Schreiber.
So Marian trying to keep the Cougars from seeing who's coming up to bat next. As that pitch off the outside edge for ball 1. So Schreiber, not Wood at the plate. Schreiber on the year hitting .273. As she gets that down the third baseline for a hit. It's into the outfield. She's going for 2, and she is in with a 1-out double, barely on the edge. Coach O'Malley Fisher out to confirm with the umpire that that was a fair ball. She's not too pleased with the call. Now she'll call time to go out for a chat with Ash Schroll. You can't get closer to the foul line than that. And right when they need it, Schreiber catches a break, and Marian has a player in scoring position with just 1 out. Sabrina DeVito coming up to the plate now for Marian. DeVito 0 for 2 on the day, reached base on an error her last at-bat. Schroll trying to get through 2 more outs as she fires that inside for ball 1. .1-0 pitch. Inside again, make it 2-0. .2-0 count on DeVito. And that's a base hit into center field. Morris charging. She'll get that in. Marian wisely holds the runner at third. But it makes it first and third with 1 out for Marian. And now
batting for the Sabres, number 16, Wood.
Karina Wood will finally step up to the plate. She's pinch hitting for Carissa Heinsdorf. So, like we mentioned, Wood, her 6th at-bat of the season. She's has 3 hits through those 5 at-bats. As they check in with Schroll. Marian, the best possession they've been in all day. And now we're going to get a pinch runner for the Sabres.
Pinch running for the Sabres, number 9, Macy Pease.
Macy Peace in for Marian. First pitch off the plate for a strike, for a ball. One-oh pitch. Off the plate again for ball 2. Schroll struggling to find the zone in the bottom of the top of the 7th. Cougars clinging on to a 1-0 lead. And Schroll calls time. Doesn't like the call in from Gang. You need a double play or you need a strikeout. You don't want a fly ball to the outfield. 2-0 pitch. That's in the zone for a strike. 2-1 count on Wood. Peace will be going the instant she hears any kind of contact, especially if it's contact down. Here's the 2-1. That's off the outside edge. 3-1 count on Wood. Three-one pitch on the way. Ball 4. Wood draws a walk, and the bases are loaded with 1 out for Hope Mata. Another pinch runner for the Sabres. It's Carissa Heinsdorf replacing Karina Wood, who pinch hit for her. So the bases loaded and 1 out. Hope Mata up to the plate. Mata grounded out to third her last time up at the plate. Force at any base for the Cougars. Schroll winds, fires. In there for strike 1. Here's the thing for Mata. She had that fly out to left field, but she is not a power hitter. She is an on-base hitter. Grounders, that sort of thing. That's grounded to the pitcher's mound. Force out at home, over to third. And it's high. They don't get the double play, but they get 1 out. Exactly what you're looking for. A soft grounder to the pitcher's mound. And now bases loaded. 2 outs for Riley Mankowski. Schroll 1 out away from getting out of it. Pitch on the way. That's high. Ball 1. One-0 count. Time called by Schroll. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at second. That's off the plate. Ball 2. 2-0 count on Mankowski. You do not have an open base. A walk would score the runner at third. Schroll winds, fires. That catches the inside corner. Strike one on Mankowski. Two-one pitch. That's over to second. Fielded, out 3. Santos does it herself, and the Cougars take game 1. 1-0. A complete game shutout for Ash Schroll. She makes the hearts pound in the top of the 7th, but gets out of it. And Concordia continues a streak. That makes it 6 games in a row for CUC. They take down Marian in game 1 of the doubleheader, 1-0. Pitchers duel as you can get. 1-run game. Cougars only scored a run in the bottom of the first, and it ended up being enough for CUC. Schroll another day on the mound where she excels. And Marian, they got as close as you can get in the top of the 7th, just couldn't get one across, and that is going to be a tough loss to swallow for the Sabres. But the Cougars, they'll take that one, and these two teams, they'll take a break, and they'll get ready for game number 2. The Cougars looking to pull off a sweep. Marian looking to salvage a split in game 2. That'll be here on the Cougar Sports Network at 2 o'clock. So don't join us for that after just a short break.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.